Alright, so the sound test passed. Hello, my name is Teresita Blanco, the Artsy Sister. And we're continuing with Time Princess, Romy, and genders are Romy and Julius. Good day to you, the Lady Ronnie. Good day to you, sirs. I'm embarrassed you found me like this. I lost my way while taking a stroll and I'm still trying to find my way back. I decided to come clean since they already discovered me. I see. Paris' face is impassive with not a hint of emotion in his voice. I thought he had lost interest in the matter, but he surprises me with an unexpected proposition. May I have the honor of sending you home, Lady Romy? You don't have to trouble yourself. You can tell me how to get back. You can rest easy, and if you're worried about Julius objecting to traveling with a Montague lady, he may be a Lord Capulet, but he has always been respectful to others. It is not in him to leave a lady in distress alone because of some family feud. He sounds like he won't take no for an answer. I instinctively said that he has an ulterior motive for wanting to send me home, and inadvertently steal a glance at Julius. Rest assured, I'll send you back home and I care about my family's honor. Paris doesn't say a single word and he just watches us in silence. This way, Lady Romy. We haven't gone far before Paris revealed his motive for wanting to send me home. It must be fixed to be able to meet Lady Romney twice. Julius frowns at Paris' sudden remark. Twice, don't tell me. Something clicks in my head, and of course the first meeting he's referring to will be the one at the masquerade. How should I reply? Thank you for not throwing me out. Trying to threaten me for eavesdropping just you wait. Oh yes, I haven't thanked you for your generosity back then. Generosity? Yes, you could have said it with Tiba to throw me out of the masquerade, but you didn't, and I haven't forgotten your kindness. Surprise flashes across Paris' face, and he was not expecting this response. Cough. I glanced at Julius, and he seems to find my retort interesting, and a smile forming on his lips. You're saying that Tiba wanted to throw you out of the masquerade? Indeed, and it was thanks to Lord Capulet's grace that I had the fortune to dance with you. Dance, huh? Paris slowly repeats my words and sweeping his eyes over to Julius and I. You two dance splendidly out there, easily overshadowing the others. It's hard to believe that you can coordinate so well with someone you just met. Looks like the time I spent on the dance practice was not wasted, if even you, who shies away from the dance floor, can tell that. So that was your first time meeting each other, huh? And it's a true, Lady Romney. Seems like Julius wants to keep our first meeting a secret from Paris. That's right, I didn't expect to bring such a performance to everyone with a random stranger, though. It's been an honor. I hold Paris' gaze and try my best to look truthful, and Paris stares at me for a while before shifting his gaze away. Seems like I was mistaken. About? I thought you were having an affair. Oh, wow, what a way to just say it like that, dude. Way to ruin a lady's honor out in the middle of Paris, or by Paris in the middle of the street. Well, when Verona, I forget. Which is in Italy, I think. What? That's an interesting theory you had there, and it didn't even occur to me to enter a relationship with Lady Ronnie. A lady with such a standing character, and yet you don't hold any special feelings for her. My admiration for her to love. Oh wow. Did Count Paris not consider the feud between our families? Alright, let's stop there, and it's inappropriate to discuss Lady Ronnie's future in front of her. That was rude of me. I'm not really bothered by their little argument. After all, Julius is doing it to abet the excessive attention Paris is giving me. However, there's one sentence in their exchange that I can't put out of my mind. It didn't even occur to him to enter a relationship with me, huh? A troop of patrolling soldiers passes and the captain bows to Paris and Julius before continuing on the thing. Is it just me or His Highness bodyguards patrolling the streets more often nowadays? His Highness is concerned with the rising tension these days and he specifically ordered us to increase the number of days patrol to be on a greater alert at night. Oh, it's heartwarming to see His Highness putting so much effort to Fort Verona. He may have said those words, but the expression on Julius' face telling a different story. Why do you say so? His Highness has never bothered himself with the security within the city, and the situation must be bad enough for him to order you to step up the security measures. And I may not be familiar with the current political situation, but I can still feel the strong animosity in their exchange. Julius seems dissatisfied with His Highness' inaction. You seem to have a deep misunderstanding of His Highness' kind intentions. It's not that His Highness doesn't care for the people of Verona, it's just that 90% of the fights are started by Montagues and Capulets. So I guess the official stand, if it's a Montague and a Capulet, they'd be like, let them fight. He may be a prince, but he still has to account for the interest and reputation of the parties involved when rolling out new security measures. Political maneuvers like this end up hurting the civilians, and I can accept this reason. I open my mouth to review him, however, Julius speaks out before I can get the words out. While it's true that most of the unrest is caused by the feud between the Montagues and the Capulets, you need more than just cooperation of both families to maintain order. Maintain the balance of power? No. His inaction is just his way of self-preservation. Forgive me for being so blunt, but I cannot accept your explanation. Every word he speaks sends a chill down my spine, and it's my first time experiencing such raw anger from him. Paris holds Julius' furious gaze, and silent and impassive as ever. You changed, Julius, and you're like a totally different person ever since you came back from that study exchange. And you're still the same old you. And I learned a few things from their heated exchange, and I can't help but hope that they'll continue talking. My apologies, Lady Ronnie, and we shouldn't discuss such things in the presence of a lady. It's alright, come Paris, however, you should stop arguing with Julius, your best friends after all. Friend now, Paris is my childhood friend, and this is little difference in opinion isn't enough to even put a dent in our bond. James Bond. Julius flashes a smile at Paris, and he doesn't return it, however. It's getting late, let's send you back first. We stop at a quiet street near the church, and I send Julius and Paris for their escort. Montague's territory is just ahead, and I can't trouble Julius. How considerate of you, Julius. This is for Verona's sake, Paris. And he's still trying to find out more about the relationship between me and Julius. And Paris glances at Julius with a knowing look in his eye, and he attempts to speak but closes his mouth again after seeing the soldiers arriving from a distance. Count Paris, His Highness requests your presence. Understood, tell His Highness that I will be there shortly. Alright, I have received reports that a wanted person has sneaked into Verona and he's been active at night, according to eyewitnesses. Might you have heard of this matter, Lady Romney? A wanted person roaming about at night. The mysterious person I met after the masquerade comes to mind. However, I already promised Larry not to speak of this matter to anyone else. Unbelievable, it's my first time hearing of this. Paris looks over at me and he doesn't seem convinced. Paris, His Highness is still waiting for you. Paris tears his interrogate glaze of Julius' reminder, and he gives us one final look before taking his leave. Regarding Paris' question, I can tell a bare-faced lie to Paris, but I cannot do the same to Julius. It's fine, you don't have to tell me if you're not willing to. Send for today. No need to send, your smile is a treasure I'm striving to protect. My heart starts thumping faster, and he seems serious about this. But this makes it all the more harder for me to ignore the previous remark he made. I don't want to ask him yet. Why are you telling me this now? Didn't you say something entirely different to Paris? I say many things to him, and what are you referring to? No, nothing. I should be going back. I tend to leave. I know I will embarrass myself if I stay here any longer. Hold on. Julius suddenly grasped my wrist, and I started attempting to break free. It didn't even occur to me to enter a relationship with Lady Ronnie. Is this the one you're referring to? He figured out without me having to say anything. I knew it. I get that you don't want Paris to misunderstand our relationship and you don't want to land me in trouble. I understand. I really do. That's right, I didn't want Paris to misunderstand and I didn't want you to suffer for my actions. And I had a hand in it too, and we're both equally responsible. And my face burns as I realize what I just said. You got it wrong, I'm not. I meant to. I might have misunderstood your words. You didn't, that's exactly what I meant. I will take back what I said to Paris, only to you, however. And I remember this other misunderstanding too. I stare at Julius in daze, and he returns my gaze, countless unspoken words dazzling with cerulean blue eyes. I don't know how many minutes have passed before Julius slowly releases my hand and lowers his head. I should go. Let's meet again sometime. He suddenly grabs my hand again, but let's go almost immediately, and he turns and leaves before I can respond and doesn't look back, not even once. Bellona stops by for a visit after dinner, and we chat away in my room just like always. Her Bellona's the only one talking, but this time my mind is too preoccupied with thoughts of Julius. And why of all people must you be Julius? Julius, are you referring to the capitalist son, and why you're suddenly talking about him? It's nothing, I heard you, you don't have to be embarrassed. Tell me the truth, are you interested in him? It's obvious she already knows what I'm thinking. My embarrassment grows under her sharp gaze. I might be able to talk to her about Julius, and I raise my head and gaze at Bellona, and she senses my gravity and sits up straight. There's something that's been on my mind for a while. Julius is a capitalist son, but why is he so friendly to the Montagues? He's extremely knowledgeable too, and he may be young, but he knows so much more than the people older than him. While everyone else is busy fighting for their own interests. Julius looks into the future and plans ahead. You must have spent quite a bit of time with him to be able to understand him so well. Oh, stop making fun of me. I'm not making fun of you. Julius may seem like a gentleman, but he isn't close to many people, and those who can see him the way you do are few and far between. How did he end up with a personality of his? It might have been the loss of his mother when he was little, or it might be his involvement in family politics since young. And he's a capitalist after all. My high childhood memories are filled with fun and laughter, and I used to play with other children my age. But I guess that luxury Julius didn't get to experience because he was forced to grow up far too early. Julius would become a cold and pretentious person if it was the only environment he had grown up in. What really changed him was when he left for a study exchange at 14. Where did he go? He went to Rome and Florence for the first 2 years and Bologna in the last. He never shared what he saw there, but it's obvious that he changed drastically after coming back from that exchange. He started caring about family feud and started putting all his efforts into developing Verona's business and improving the life of the people. He even volunteered to take part in various difficult tasks, even if they're dangerous or could damage his reputation. Verona is able to maintain this level of prosperity even with a growing avarice because Julius is suffering. He really is an exceptional person, and I'm getting a clear understanding of what Julius said to me, Lawrence and Paris. So one prods my cheek, and Verona's smiles playfully and takes my hand in hers. Are you still thinking about him, and how about, and do you like him more now? Stop making fun of me. I'm curious though, and how do you know so much about Julius? Verona freezes for a moment, and then she reaches out to pat my shoulder with a smile. Oh, are you jealous of me? Don't worry, I don't have a special feeling for the young man. I'm not jealous, I'm just curious. It's easy to find a thing or two about a young noble, and you just have to ask around. You were just meeting with Roscoe, and there's no way you would have spent the effort to understand other guys. Is she really telling the truth? And it feels like she knows Julius more than she's letting on. But I won't ask, and she's not willing to tell. I'm doing the same thing as Julius, and he respects my wishes and did not press the matter further. I cannot restrain myself and let out a chuckle. And what's got you so happy? Oh, it's nothing. Liar, tell me. I fooled around with Bellona and we burst out laughing and lost a few of the Montague mansion and at the time, and I believed that the carefree days would last forever. How naive of me. I wake up early right after breakfast and I receive news from a servant. There's a guest waiting for me outside. Who is it? He refuses to say his name and he won't come in. This is familiar. I skin him with my heart of beneath a tree and he looks anxious. He seems familiar. Maybe he's a servant who tagged along with Julius' governess. Are you Peter? I call out his name and he jumps and bows, and there's something strange about how he moves. Lady Ronnie, good day. He stutters as he greets me and then presents a letter. And who asked you to send me this letter? My master asked me to. I almost cried in surprise. Judy has sent me a letter. I am overjoyed. Coming down, I examine the envelope. The wax seal has a capital family crest, and there's a pale red rose stamp on the corner of the envelope. I wonder what he's written. Thank you for the letter, and would you like to come in for a cup of tea? No, thank you, lady. I must take my leave now. And waving his hands anxiously, he gives me another comical bow and then runs off. He's in such a hurry, and does he have other errands to run? And Peter's weird behavior is quickly forgotten, and I hide the letter carefully and then hurry up the stairs. I return to my room and tear the envelope open. Lady Ronnie, you're cordially invited to the Catholic Garden, and I look forward to seeing you. In just two short sentences, and it's not even signed, and there's a simple line drawn on the bottom. What a formal letter. Perhaps he used to writing letters in this manner, and the handwriting is also rather unexpected and looks a little wild. Seems like a trap. But these are just trivial things, and most importantly, Julius sent this, and it is his time inviting me. The letter stays new, so I guess I still have time to prepare. It feels like it's a trap. Romy, Bellona, what a coincidence. And you're perky today, Ronnie. And where are you going? Where are you going? Meeting a lover? Bellona's teasing me. I admit it. How do you know? My face starts to burn the minute the words leave my mouth, and Bellona's eyes widen as she's never thought I would be meeting a lover. I know I'm not going to meet a lover. You should have denied it from the start. Don't panic, or you'll be late. It's a Julius. I'm only meeting him. Julius asked you to meet him. Him? Where? I guess he says to tell Bellona. The Capulet Garden. Bellona's mouth disappears in front and she puts her finger on her chin. Can you give me more details, and how did he invite you? Why are you asking? You've done stupid things before and I'm worried about you. I guess she's referring to when I impulsively confessed to Roscoe, and I tell her about the letter delivered by Peter and even show her the letter, and she stares at the letter and her expression becomes even more grave. No, this isn't his. It's not his one. Bellona doesn't reply, and she folds the letter and returns it to me, and then she sinks into deep thought. Bellona? I try calling her, and startled she blinks at me and laughs. Let me accompany you, Romy. I'll be fine, I'll be careful, and I won't let the Catholic guard see me. I'm afraid your happiness will distract you, and with me by your side, at least you'll have safety net. Don't worry. I won't disturb your little rendezvous, I promise. Well, if you don't agree, I'll tell Lord and Lady Montague all about this. Please don't. Bellona turns as if to go, and I desperately grab hold of her arm, and she chuckles and pats my hand. I'm just teasing you. I won't tell them. Let's go. Okay. Without looking at the map, Bellona takes me back to the back alley behind the couple residence, and the past branches, and I'm trying to examine the map. Walk this way. It's faster. It really is faster, but how did Bellona know? I remember the night of the masquerade. Bellona was also confident of the way when she took me to the Capulet residence. I don't have time to think about it too much, and we arrived at the garden through a dark corridor, to a dark doorway. It's a really peaceful in the garden at noon, and the singing of the birds is all we hear. Julius isn't here yet, and let's find somewhere to wait for him. Julius will never keep a lady waiting. Bellona, and why do you know Julius in the Capulet residence so well? Bellona's hand twitches in mine, and then she squeezes my hand. If anything goes wrong, let me handle it, Romy. Bellona, what are you talking? Before I finish my sentence, Bellona's face turns pale. No! She shoves me aside so violently I fall to the ground. Bellona, what? I choke on the words as Bellona topples over before me, and there's blood on her chest, and she shudders briefly and then is motionless forever. And a masked man dressed in black stands silently by her side, and the dagger in his hand is stained with blood. No, no, Bellona! The masked man puts his hand on my throat and forces me back to the ground, and warm drops of Bellona's blood drips on my face. You killed Bellona! I try to fight back, but he easily deflects my blows, and during the struggle, the blade grazes my hand, but I don't feel any pain. You murderer! The dagger plunges towards my chest, and the man in black suddenly drops the dagger and vanishes, and I'm still in shock. Ronnie, are you alright? Julius holds me tightly, and I lean on his chest, and days and tears gush out my eyes. Julius, Bellona. I'm sorry I got here too late, but I'm going after the killer. Ronnie, don't follow me. He runs through the dark doorway, and the assassin escaped while Julius was checking on me. Without Julius' support, my knees give way, and I kneel to the ground, and Bellona is lying in front of me, and blood is seeping across the floor, and trembling I touch her finger, and it's still warm. This morning you were smiling at me, and you said you'd stay with me forever. The cut in my hand is starting to hurt, and I look at her pale face and slowly feel cold just like her. And I'm still in that position when Julius returned, and as his gazing at her would bring her back to life. Please get up, the ground is cold. Julius offers me his hand, but I don't take it, and I merely look at him. Who killed her? Thibault. Have you caught him? No, he killed himself. There's an empty hole in me, and yet there's something fiery too, and I touch the letter in my pocket and think about how happy I was in the morning. I'm such a fool. My family guys will be here soon, and I'll take you to the church and send people to handle Bellona's body. Kill me. What? What are you saying? You wrote a letter inviting me to the garden. You wanted to kill me here, right? And now Bellona's dead. Are you disappointed? Julius' lips tremble and his face twitches. I understand you must be very confused right now, but I did not write a letter, and I did not send people to kill you. If I really wanted to kill you, why did I save you? That's right. Why did you save me? Why didn't you let people kill me? Why did Bellona die? Why did I? Getting into the Romeo and Juliet vibe. My breath goes black as a... I'm curious. What curious to see what happens if I had shades after the door when the assassin showed up. And just skip ahead and... Bellona's curious is escaping, and I shake in anger. I can't just let him get away. And Julius, what is he? I dash towards the doorway. I hear the sword fight before I see it, and I quell the urge to rush at them and hide around the corner instead. They're fighting. The man in black drops his dagger in the garden, but he still has a slender sword, and even though I know nothing about sword fighting, I can tell he's very skilled. In a few exchanges, Julius wounds the man's right hand, and the slender sword falls to the ground. Before the man in black can react, Julius points his sword at the man's throat, and with a light flick of the sword, the mask falls. You, Tybalt. I clap my hand over my mouth to stop myself from crying out in shock and anger. You seem very surprised. Tybalt, how dare you? Turn yourself in, you won't get away. I guess not. Tybalt launches at Julius' sword. No! The sword pierces Tiba's throat and he grabs and spits out blood and he slowly sinks to the ground and dies. Oh, so that's how that fight went down. Julius stands in a daze and after a long while he pulls the sword out of Tiba's throat. Tybalt, you. I walk around the corner and Julius is immediately concerned by me. Ronnie, I'm sorry, how's your hand? I look down, blood is dripping from my finger and I guess I got caught while struggling with Tybalt. And the thing finally catches with me and I wipe my face with Bellona's blood dripping on me, but it's dry. Bellona's gone. Reality hits me like a sledgehammer and I'm reeling from the shock. I hope you wrap that up. Julius' voice seems to be coming from far away and he takes out a handkerchief and comes towards me and I shake my head and step back. He stops in his tracks and the hand holding the handkerchief shakes a little while before withdrawing. Did you write a letter inviting me to the garden? A letter? No, I didn't write any. It really wasn't you. It wasn't me. The last of my energy drains out of me, his reply. Is that so? I really am such a fool. Romney? My work goes black and I tumble over, but I don't hit the icy ground. Time to melodramatically faint. What is this place? What am I doing here? The endless darkness fills me with fear and I desperately yell the first name that comes to my mind. Father, Mother, where are you? Julius, Lawrence, Bellona. Looking for me, Romney. Bellona, thank goodness I tell you where. I'm dead, Romney. Thanks to you. Bellona says it with an expression on his face and a dark red stain spreads from her chest and the eerie crimson engulfs her entirely. No, Bellona, you're dead and you're in hell. Bellona, please, it's not my fault, please don't die. Too late, farewell, Romney. Her voice fades away as the ground beneath my feet disappears and I fall into nothingness. No, Bellona. I jolt awake with a yell and cold sweat dripping from my forehead. It's alright, Ronnie, I'm here. He envelops me in his arm before I can even begin to process the nightmare, and Father pats my trembling back, comforting me. Father, my poor child, and you gave us a fright. And he lets go of me and adjusts my hair and then kisses my forehead and a weight of emotion washes over me and I collapse into his arms, sobbing. I'm sorry, it's not my fault. You did nothing wrong and there was no way you could have expected it. It's tragic what happened to Bellona and her mother's devastated. Tybalt, that capital cur, and how dare he attack my daughter in the streets. What? This version of the event is wholly inaccurate. Tybalt attacked us in the Capitol garden. Who is hiding this truth? Father, how did I get home? Father's expression is difficult to describe and it's rare to see him so conflicted. I brought you home from the church and Larry said Julius Capitol took you there. Julius. Rame, do you know him? Father looks at me in the eye searching for answers and I knew I can't lie to him. Yes, we have met a few times. Father observed me for a moment and then passed me on the head and continued speaking. He claimed to be passing by when Tybalt attacked you and intervened. He couldn't save Bellona, but he did save you. Is that true, Romney? It didn't really happen that way, but revealing the real details might lead to more disaster. Yes, Father, it's true. Entonces que Capole could have called our conscience. But it doesn't change the fact that the family is beyond redemption. And what are you going to do, Father? His tone shifts suddenly to an ominous one. Don't concern yourself and leave it to me and get some sleep. He holds my hand and passes reassuringly, mistakenly assuming that I asked the question out of fear of the Capulet. Don't worry, dear daughter. I'll make sure the Capulets pay for their crime and justice will be served for you and Bellona. Father releases my hand before I can reply and tucks me into bed and then leaves hurriedly. It's clear that he's going to pursue this with the Capulets. A bloody war is looming, and yet I can't even bring myself to say anything in protest. At that moment, I did want Tybalt dead. And there's no shortage of tragedy in Verona, but one only feels the strikes him personally. Killing Tybalt will not bring Bellona back. And besides, Tybalt's not the only hand in the murder. I was Tybalt's target all along. If Bellona hadn't accompanied to the garden and shielded me, she would still be alive. Her death is my fault. If only I viewed that letter with more suspicion, she might still be. Thinking of that letter makes me sit up in bed, and whoever wrote it wanted to kill me, and I must find out who it is. I searched the room and rummaged through the clothes, and I changed out, but failed to find an important missive. If Lawrence or the maid discovered the letter, they would have handed it to my father. Judging by his demeanor, I don't think father knows anything about it. The letter was with me until I passed out. So there's only one possibility. Julius must have taken the letter, but why? Did he take it to hide it from my father, who might fly into a rage? It's so difficult for me to trust anyone outside the Montague family after this murder. In a sense, I've become the type of Montague I despise. While I pondered over this, the servant knocks and then opens the door, carrying a silver platter filled with dishes. The master had me bring this to you, Lady Ronnie, and you should eat something. I don't have any appetite, but I know that food is a sign of father's concern for me, and I can bear to reject it. Just place it on the table. She places the food on the table and then closes the door and leaves. And as I glance at the platter, something red catches my attention. A rose. A rose from the Fountain of the Opera. I walk to the table entrance, and a vibrant rose sits next to the plate, and beneath it lies a white envelope. There's a roll of words in neat handwriting on the envelope, and it reads, "To Lady Ronnie." With a shaking hand, I open the envelope and read the letter. Lady Ronnie, although I can see you in person, I know you must be exhausted right now, and you'll get some rest. And what happened to Lady Bellona isn't your fault, and she won't be able to rest in peace either if you keep grieving and blaming yourself. I swear on my mother's name that I will find out the truth of the incident, and I've taken away the fake letter for investigation. Do not worry about it. Julius. The letter's real this time. It's real. And we are the only two who know about the fake letter, and tears stream down my face, and the rose-faint fragrance fills the air. Security's tied here now, but he still managed to send me a letter. Julius seems to know what I'm thinking, and he knows my worries, my fear, and what pains me, and what tortures me. And I put the rose in the crystal vase and place it next to my bed, and the scarlet petals look like blood, but also resemble a warm fire. I think of how Bellona was engulfed by blood in my dream and what she said to me before she passed on. Ronnie, if anything goes wrong, just let me handle it. And her final words seem to hold a deeper meaning, but the love and concern in them are clear as day. I will never forget your death and the anger I felt. I promise you, Bellona, I'll pull myself together and find the true culprit and make them pay for this. I held the letter to my chest and gazed at the rose. Julius, can I trust you? Of course, flowers can respond, and I slowly closed my eyes while breathing in the rose's fragrance. Please wake up, Lady Ronnie. It's time to go. Go? Where to? Master has arranged for you to take a shelter at a cottage. The carriage is waiting at the door, and allow me to get you changed. I thought I remember that it was a fashion game. The servant tells me the father has officially declared war on the Capulets. For safety's sake, he's sending me out of the city. An unprecedented war is about to break out. I moved to the cottage on the outskirts of Verona in accordance with my father's wishes. Although it's by no means luxurious, it's still adequate. A personal servant takes care of my daily needs while the elite guards handpicked by father keep watching shift. But living here brings no peace. Lady, your casa cold if you continue sitting by the window. Just a little longer. The servant sighs after covering me with a cloak and she fetches some hot tea. Staring out of the window has become a daily routine, and I reminisce about being able to wander freely, but most of all, I worried about the chaos unfolding in the city. Keep staring, and eagles will come for you. Someone gently knocks back at my head, and I turn around to see Lawrence, who looks worried and frustrated. I'm not a pigeon, and eagles can't catch me. The days you're in makes you look like one. Huh. And did you come all the way here just to mock me? I'm afraid the pigeon will get cold. And he walks to the window and closes it. And Lawrence is the only friend I can meet after moving here, and Father trusts him and lets him visit. And to ensure my safety, his visits are irregular, and at the end of each visit, he tells me when he's calm again. Do you see Father and Mother before coming? How are they? Your mother came to the church to pray yesterday morning, and she asked about you, and she was in good spirits, though a little weary. And as for your father, I haven't seen him since he agreed to let me visit you, and I hear he's busy preparing for battle. He's a great man, but he just can't look past the feud, huh? In the past, I definitely agree with Lawrence, but now my heart aches whenever I think of Bellona. I am tense, and Lawrence knows what I'm thinking. Don't dwell on that anymore. The dead won't come back to life. Instead of grieving, take care of yourself. He passed me as he speaks, and his eyes are full of worry. I know he's concerned for me, but there are more important matters at him. Rather than worrying about my safety, tell me, Lawrence, what's going on in the city? Don't worry about it. Nothing's more important than your safety. Sick of hearing Lawrence repeat the same thing again, I yell at him. Why won't anyone tell me what's going on? Be it the servant, the guards, or you, it's always the same response. I really want to know what's going on in Verona, and being kept in the dark is terrifying. I am close to tears, and Lawrence panics before getting me a handkerchief. A mess. What? Didn't you ask about Verona? Things are at a flashpoint. Bloodbaths in the street, women and children hiding at home, and most shops are closed. The church is the only place that is untouched, and seems like the thugs still have some reverence for sacred things, and they are not cause a ruckus, though it's only a matter of time before the chaos spreads. And no one's stopping it. I know it's a ridiculous question, and now that the Lords are bent on war, no man can stop the violence. Someone is. The young Master Capulet brings men to quell the violence time and time again and saves lives as well. I don't know if he persuaded his father, but I hear he's arranging an urgent audience with the prince, and perhaps he wants the prince to mediate. Unfortunately, His Royal Highness is recuperating from an illness and refuses to meet anyone. Huh, what a time to be sick. It sounds like Julius is trying to prevent tensions from worsening. I thought about the letter inviting me to the Capitol Garden, and I still haven't told anyone about it. And hearing Lawrence talk about the state of Verona currently, I think that's the right decision. If I tell anyone about the letter, the situation will surely escalate to a point of no return. Overthinking things won't help things, and let's focus on the current issues. I want to find out more, but Lawrence is in a hurry to leave. I'll have to ask him the next time he comes then. As night falls, I hear the owls swooning in a lying bed, unable to fall asleep. And I don't have nightmares about Verona anymore. Now I dream of chaos and bloodshed. My dreams are quickly becoming a reality. and I can only tremble helplessly in the safety of this cottage and cry bitter in my dreams. I lie down on the edge of my blanket, immensely frustrated at my inability to do anything. Why am I even thinking about this? Even if I were in Verona, I'll be cooped up at home. I decided to go get some rest, and after tossing and turning, I finally managed to feel a little sleepy. I feel a gentle breeze across my face as I lie half awake. Didn't the servant close the window? And as I'm about to go back to sleep, I smell a faint fragrance. Smells like roses or teen spirit. There are no flowers around the cottage, and to reduce the unnecessary interaction, the servants never buy fresh flowers either. Even though I don't hear any strange sound, I know someone's in the room, someone who shouldn't be. I open my eyes. A brown-haired youth from a young man sits on the edge of my bed, and his cerulean eyes are transparent as glass under the moonlight. Julius. I straighten my clothes before sitting up, and Julius loses a tap, quickly regains his composure. It's been a while, Ronnie. I'm sorry we're meeting like this. And writing would have been more proper, but I think something should be said in person. He looks serious, and his eyes are devoid of the joy they once had before. And you're afraid I'll call for the guards. You wouldn't do that. How are you sure? You must have heard some things about the situation in Verona, and I believe you have questions for me, is that right? If he has malicious intentions, then I shouldn't be talking to him like I'm doing now. But he's right, I do want to clarify some things. Considering how things are, I better not overthink this, and I'm sorting out my thoughts. Tiba must have killed himself to bring some secrets to his grave. Could the secret be the mastermind's identity? Tiba killed Bellona and attempted to kill me, but someone else must be behind this. Do you have any leads about their identity? Yeah, because they were trying to kill they were trying to kill the lady, the girl, in order to like instigate a civil war between the Capulets and the Montagues. Do you have any leads about their identity? I stare unblinking at Julius. We're looking into it, but they are elusive, and Sabina can reveal more details. Doesn't he know? I can tell if that's the truth, and Julius senses my lingering doubts. You're free to believe me, just as you're free to question me. What a crafty reply. Getting straight to the point the minute you get a chance and you're not half bad yourself. Julius' backhanded compliments unusually make me shocked, but now even a smirk will be pushing it. Can I assume then that you have entirely nothing to do with this? I chose my words carefully, and I don't believe Julius is out for blood, but Theobald is a Capulet after all. Nothing proves that Julius isn't involved, but Bellona attacked men for me, and I must leave no stone unturned. A bitter smile appears on his face. No matter how I profess my innocence, you'll never believe me because of our family feuding, am I right? Indeed, I am sorry I can't be impartial about this. It's okay, I understand. Lady Bellona was a close friend after all. In the same way, she was a close ally to me. For a moment I failed to register what Julius just said. You're saying Bellona was your ally. How can that be? She's a Montague, and her father died in an accident of fire during the conflict. As the words leave my lips, memories of Bellona come flooding in, and I remember when she lost her father, and she was sitting in bed all day, refusing to eat or drink, and I never seen her so hopeless. She suffered because of the Capulets, and why would she be allies with you? Julius was hurt by my accusation, and a brief moment later he responds, perhaps she thinks that the real cause of the conflict don't lie with the Capulets. The real cause of the conflict doesn't lie with the Capulets. Am I still blind with hate? I take a deep breath to compose myself. You saying Bellona is your ally. How did that happen? Are you sure you want to hear it from me? And I get what Julius is implying, and his answer may ruin everything I know about Bellona. But I can't continue living in ignorance, and I need to know the truth, even if it hurts. Long story short, I met Lady Bellona at a bazaar 2 years ago, and she wanted to resolve the conflict between our families, and at the time I didn't have an ally who was a Montague insider. Eventually, we gained each other's trust and became allies, sharing a common desire for Verona's peace and harmony. She shared information about the Montagues, and I tell her what I know, and this helps to contain the animosity the capitalists have for the Montagues. Sharing information. Although I am mentally prepared, it's still difficult to reconcile this revelation, and more recent memories of Verona begin to surface, and her smile when she was persuading me to go to the masquerade and sending supplies to the bazaar, and bumping into me in the street. Our battering, plain, and heartfelt conversation was it all to gain information. I shake my head, dispelling the dark thoughts forming in my mind. It can't be, so what if it was? Verona may have harbored such intention, but I don't doubt her sincerity towards me. Our steadfast friendship from growing up together is definitely genuine. Though now I realize some things may have been pretense, and I know that Julius isn't as innocent as I thought. From our first meeting near the church to Verona bringing me to the masquerade, that was all part of the plan. I didn't expect my servant to behave so awkwardly, but the rest is just as you said. I can't help but sneer. At this point, I don't even know if I'm laughing at being kept in the dark or at their planned coincidences. Julius doesn't react to my mockery. I did all that so that I could meet you. Why do you want to meet me? To use me to get to know more of the Montagues so you can form an alliance? That's not entirely correct, and I want a contract that's stronger than an alliance. He gazes lovingly into me, and a complex, undecipherable layer of emotions lies in his. What contract? Without answering my question, he changes the subject. There's something else I want to ask. He pauses, and the outside the window hood anxiously suddenly washes over me. Ronnie, did you see something you shouldn't have on a certain night? Ronnie, did you see something you shouldn't have on a certain night? The night of the masquerade, I saw a person in the magic circle. Oh god, so don't tell me that they really are demons. Has Julius found out about it, though he may be asking in passing? I shake the thought away, and he's taking a risk coming here to ask if I saw anything, and I think of him otherwise, and that is very naive of me. My hesitation only confirms Julius' guess, and he continues. To catch the mastermind and to lay Lady Verona's soul to rest, if you know something, anything, please tell me. This is related to the mastermind. And when my question and indirectly admitted to seeing something. But I don't care. If this concerns the truth, I can afford to act like I don't know anything. Ronnie, have you thought about why somebody tried to kill you? If either family decides to start a bloodbath, or if somebody wants to deepen the animosity, both you and I will be excellent targets. The question is, why now? I feel a chill run down my spine as I listen to Julius. Because I said something I shouldn't have, so somebody wants to silence me. Julius shuts his eyes, not denying what I said. The scene from the alley surfaces in my mind. If Lawrence hadn't arrived in time, I may have been kidnapped or killed by that mysterious man. And I've been having all sorts of suspicious encounters ever since, and I nearly lost my life. Considering all of this, Julius' theory is more believable. I promised Lawrence not to tell anyone else about it, though. Ronnie, it may be a little cruel of me to say this, but this doesn't just concern you. If we reveal the truth, we might be able to avoid bloodbaths and save countless Veronan citizens. Ronnie, please tell me what you saw. I can't help but being swayed by his word. Enough! An angry shout from the door interrupts me. Lawrence is standing at the door, glaring at Julius, and surprise flickers across Julius's face for a moment before he recovers his composure. Lawrence. Ronnie, come over here. Come over to me. Dude, I'm not a dog. Lawrence stretches out his hand, looking nervous but sincere. Why? What's wrong? Why come over here now and stay away from that fellow? Julius won't do anything to me, and he only came to talk. Without waiting for me to finish, Lawrence rushes over and he helps me up and stands in front of me protectively. Thank you for trusting me. You worry too much. I won't hurt her. Say that to the Montague guards, and you may be able to bluff her with your honey words, but you don't try to fool me. I realize what Lawrence is inferring, and I hurriedly tug at his sleeve. Wait, Lawrence, Julius is here to tell me the news and ask for help, and he doesn't have any ulterior motive. I heard your conversation, and he's really smart, and he only talks about these glorious reasons, but he never once mentioned the most important matter at all. The most important. Seeing that I'm still perplexed, Lawrence's brows furrowed even deeper. He had a motive way before he got close to you. And how do you know he really wants to befriend you? And how do you know he's telling you the truth? That's... I tried to explain on Julius' behalf, but I can't think of anything. A contract that's stronger than an allegiance, that's putting it nicely. Julius, the real reason you got close to Romy is for a political marriage. The room falls silent and I stare at Lawrence, shocked before I turn to look at Julius. Julius closes his eyes, turning away slightly. Is it true what Lawrence said? You got close to me to befriend me, all for the sake of a political marriage. Yes, that was my initial plan. Why? There are so many nobles yearning to forge a good relationship with the capitalists at the masquerade. As to why I chose you for the marriage, the answer is obvious. For Verona's peace and harmony, right? Julius doesn't answer, but I know I'm right. If the Montagues and capitalists are united via marriage, even if the hatred still exists, it'll be formally restrained. And then maybe things will improve for the next generation. That's really noble of you. So you don't care about the girl's feeling as long as you achieve your goal. Julius doesn't let Lawrence get to him, and he gets at me steadfast, though nothing else matters. Yes, I did harbor such thoughts in the beginning. Bellona doesn't talk about you, but it wasn't until I met you that I realized how horrible my ideas have been. You are considerate, gentle, and brave, and even if you are rash at times, it's because of your enthusiasm. No matter what happens, you always stay true and plowed on, and when I danced and chatted with you, I forgot about family standings and my original intention. I had a motive for befriending you, but every moment I spent with you has been memorable. His eyes sparkle as he speaks. I want to say something, but something sticks in my throat and I can't make a single sound. Anyone can say nice things, though what you say cannot erase the fact that you manipulated Ronnie's feelings. Julius surveys Lawrence for a bit and then he chuckles. Sir Lawrence, forgive me for being straightforward, but my relationship with Romy does not need to be commented upon by someone who's neither a Montague nor a Capulet. Lawrence's face falls and his grip on my wrist tightens to the point of pain. You're hurting me, Lawrence. I'm sorry, are you alright? Oh god, both of them are lunatics. Lawrence releases his grip on me and he sees the mark he left on my wrist and his eyes fill with remorse. Yet his gaze sharpens when he turns to Julius. You came here not only to tell her this, but also to find out what happened that night. Lawrence isn't asking a question but making a statement. From the way you speak, you must know something. What I know or don't know is not important. And what's important is that it doesn't matter if it's you or anyone else. Nobody should know what happened that night, even if it concerns the lives of Verona's citizens. Julius' question has considerable sway over Lawrence. Lawrence has always been concerned for the citizens, and he must be in a difficult position now. Moreover, Julius' deduction is reasonable. He hit a wall on his investigation and needs more clues to chase down the murderer. Lawrence, let's tell Julius about the situation. No. Anything but his. And Lawrence shut his eyes and his mouth pursed tight. Why? Why are you clearly worried about Verona, and this is an opportunity to turn things around? It's also an opportunity that may cost you your life. What? If you tell Julius what happened that night, your safety will be compromised. And when the news gets out, there'll be an avalanche of trouble. And even Julius knows where you're hidden. And he even managed to avoid the guards and enter your room. The next person to do the same may not be as civil as he is. I won't squander your safety for the sake of peace that's just empty talk. And his tone is firm and final and his expression determined. And this is how he looks whenever he has made a firm decision. Once he's made up his mind, it's hard for anyone to persuade him. Julius is quiet and perhaps they're both thinking about the same thing. They're both concerned for my safety, but I can't do anything for them and nothing for the citizens of Eroga. I hold myself tight. Why is that such a crucial moment? And I can only think, there's a terrible cry outside the window. But beyond the window broke. That's a good place to leave it.